gonna be?
What's your intention with this? Yeah, what's your intention with this video?
Well, these are questions that will get answered.
So
Alrighty, so we'll see if we can pull this off. What you're seeing is somewhat in the future, because this is going to be in my past, but we're going to create a new future, a new timeline. This is actually a new timeline that you're in now, and you're experiencing what it feels like. Hopefully, this space is one of peace, harmony, and one that you feel comfortable in. We want to show that it's okay to question these things. It's okay to talk about these things. There's nothing to be ashamed of. We are who we are, and we shouldn't be ashamed of it. There's nothing wrong with becoming a butterfly. We're not meant to always be caterpillars crawling around on our bellies. So now is a time where we spread our wings and fly and not be ashamed of who we are. And we be an example of the change we want to see in the world. So what you're seeing now is the Trueman Show, a guy that woke up in the Matrix and is turning the camera on itself. And now you're inside of the reality show. So it's unscripted. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, just like life, a real reality show. But we're going to be talking about things of higher consciousness and things that will help enlighten and help the world reach a new potential, a new trajectory. And this is where it starts. And I appreciate you spending one of the most valuable things you have, your time here. So without further ado, let's get started.
I love it. I love it.
Right, I've actually been practicing like a couple weeks ago writing to my future self to rewrite my timeline, like as my future self back to me, like in my journal. And I've been like, I got the chills watching this. And I know that it's like the scariest part is gonna be the uncomfortable part. Like if I keep staying comfortable, I'm not gonna become that butterfly. Like I know that there's gonna, like, I need to do something really uncomfortable to like get me out of this reality, because it's not working out for me right now.
You'll be surprised. It's like what I found is the moment it's almost like you create space for something, right? So
Right.
it's like I was so busy being miserable in this job and like the day-to-day of doing something I hated. The moment that went away, it's like it just opened up everything. Yeah. So
Let's do the recap first. You said you couldn't run from yourself. And the question was, what is enlightenment? The deeper question is who are you? That's what it boils down to, right? You can't run from yourself. You are who you are. And then we talked about the amount of layers that are placed over that. So enlightenment is really removing the layers so you can experience what you already are, right? You don't change what you are now. You are it. But the layers on top prevent us from experiencing it. So why is that not a state you would want to attain to? And then you also mentioned something as well, because as you start to enlighten yourself, that is taking that light into the dark aspects of yourself. Mm-hmm. As you go into those dark aspects of yourself, you're vibrating at that level that is uncomfortable. It is easier to leave that alone and to have someone else save you than to do your own work. So a lot of people avoid that. A lot of spiritual people avoid that because that is uncomfortable, you know? And from a consciousness standpoint, let's say we are this ocean of consciousness experiencing itself as these different characters in this room, then it doesn't make an alien any special or any different than we are. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're aliens. We're aliens talking about other beings that look just as alien to us as we do to them, right. As if they're something special. Like we're all still looking at this miracle. I think from a consciousness standpoint, there is a level of knowledge on this planet to where you're not going to learn any more than that. Like you are who you are. Like you're God. Like the highest thing that you can imagine is what you already are, mm-hmm. right? So there's an acceptance to that. There's a responsibility to that because they're like, okay, well, if that's the case, no one's going to do anything for me, right? I got to do all the heavy lifting, right? There's a lot of responsibility to that, but that's why you are who you are. And that's part of this experience. You're that powerful to experience this much limitation so that you can experience coming out of that limitation like a seed experiences getting buried so we can experience growing up out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're part of that cycle.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, what I want to show is these kind of conversations to where, and there's nothing, no, I don't know anyone's background or whatever. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, we are who we are. And if we can start there on that basic level of agreement, then all of the stuff that is used to divide us really becomes superficial. It really just burns away. It doesn't even matter. Like, why are we talking about this? Like, it doesn't change who I am. It doesn't change who you are. We're here interacting with each other. So maybe we can interact better. Let's try that because this seems to not be working. You know, let's at least talk about it and see if there's a better way. So that's kind of what this journey is, and this is just one node of that. But it's really just connecting the pieces that are already there